Very good morning and welcome to this Tuesday session of Yog Online. Sit comfortably. Lift the sides of the trunk, lift the chest, and lift your ears away from the shoulders. Feel the length of the spine. Take your arms out to the side, open the chest. Turn the palms to face forward and turn the palms to face up. Lengthen your wrists away. Open the chest. Breathe in, raise up the arms. Up arms in line with the ear. And lift the trunk. Lift the elbows. Lift the wrists. At the same time, keep the thighs firmly pressed down. Join the base of your palms, the palms and the fingers, and release your thumb to the sternum. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the abdomen soft. Close your eyes and focus on the breath. Keep the abdomen soft. Keep the face soft. Begin by chanting Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Slowly release your hands. Open your eyes. Roll the shoulders back. Place your fingertips on the floor and straighten your legs. Straighten your legs. And now change the crossing of your legs. Keep the shoulders rolled back. Lift from the hip to the armpit. Maintain the extension of the trunk. Interlock your fingers in front of you. Rotate at the wrist. Turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Upper arms in line with the ear. Lift the armpit. Lift the elbows and lift the wrist. The focus should be on the stretch of the trunk, at the same time keeping the abdomen soft. Stretch the armpit and lift the elbows. The thighs should be pressed down. Now focus on your breath. Breathe in completely from the hip to the armpit and from the armpit to the wrist. Breathing out, soften the abdomen. Breathe out and release your hands to the sides. Roll the shoulders back. Feel the lift of the armpit and the stretch of the side of it. Take your right hand behind you. Take your left hand over the right knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. Keeping the abdomen soft at all times. Can you soften the abdomen to twist a little more? Move the shoulder blades and move the chin. Release your gaze. Let's change sides. Take your left hand behind you. Take your right hand over the left knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blade, and move the chin. Focus on softening the abdomen as you twist. Release your gaze, release your twist, roll the shoulders back. Change the bind of your interlock, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathing in, raise up the arms. Upper arms in line with the ear, soften the abdomen. Stretch the armpit, stretch the wrist, and lift the palms. Keep the abdomen soft. Focus on your breath once again. Breathe in from the hip to the armpit, from the armpit to the wrist. The extension of the trunk at the same time, the strength of the thighs holding you down. Breathe out, release your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Raise up the arms. A full stretch. Now lift the left arm, lift the right, lift the left and the right. As if your hips are fixed, the armpits move away and the wrists move away. Feel that length. Maintaining this length of the trunk, turn the palms to face forward. Spread your palms and spread your fingers, bring energy into the palms. Turn the palms away from you, rotating from the armpit. Pin your hips down, stretch the armpit, lift the elbows, lift the palms, lift the fingers, breathe out and release. One more time, breathe in, raise up the arms. Stretch the right side, then the left side, the right again, then the left. Maintain the stretch. Pin the thighs down, pin the groins down, turn the palms to face forward, stretch the armpit, lift the elbows, lift the middle finger, spread the palm and spread the fingers. Turn the palms to face away from you, rotate from the armpit, lift the armpits away from the floor, breathe out and release your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe in, raise up the arms once again. Turn your palms to face forward, interlock your thumbs and stretch. Soften the abdomen, lift the armpits, lift the wrist, lift your thumbs. From here, close your palms together, close your fingers together and stretch. Breathe out and release your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Breathing in, raise up the head. And as you breathe out, release the chin to the chest. Walk your hands slightly further back. Breathe in, raise up the head. And as you breathe out, draw the chin to the chest. Raise up the head once more and straighten out your legs. Straighten out the legs. Your heels move away from you, your toes towards you, gaze forward. Push your thighs down. Push your thighs and the backs of the knees towards the floor. Interlock your fingers once more, rotate at the wrist. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Push the thighs down and push the backs of the knees down to lift the navel, lift the sternum, and lift the sides of the tongue. Pressing the thighs back and lift. Breathe out and release your hands. Fold your left leg in, keep the right leg straight. Keep the navel and sternum facing forward. Once again, change the interlock of your fingers, rotate at the wrist. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Use the strength of both thighs to press you down as you extend the trunk away from the hips. Stretch the armpit, lift the wrist, lift the elbows. Breathe out and release. If you can, place the same foot over the thigh. Release the knee down to the floor. Interlock your fingers, rotate at the wrist, breathe in and lift. Push your thighs down, push the knee down and lift the trunk out of the hips. Use the left foot on the right thigh to pin down the right. And lift. Breathe out and release. Change legs. Right leg out to the side. Change the bind of your interlock. Rotate at the wrist. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Press the thighs down. Lift the armpit. Lift the elbows and lift the wrist. Keep pressing the thighs down as you engage and lift the trunk. Breathe out and release. Place your left foot over the right thigh. Release your knee to the floor. Interlock. Change the interlock. Rotate at the wrist. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Lift the armpit. Lift the wrist. Pin your thighs down as you out and release. Roll the shoulders back. Straighten out your legs. Move your toes away from you. Move your toes towards you. Feel the backs of your legs stretch as you draw your toes towards you and your heels away from you. Holding your legs once again and come to stand. Stand with the feet hip-width apart. And now from the hip to the armpit, maintain this extension. Interlock your fingers. Rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Up arms in line with the ear. Lift all 10 toes off the floor, spread your toes. And now lift the trunk. Lengthen your toes to the floor. Push your thighs back like you did when you're on the floor. Lift the armpit. Lift the wrist. And a full stretch of the trunk. Breathing in. Raise up your heels, a full stretch. Try to maintain the height of the armpit and release your heels to the floor. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out and release. Breathe in to lift the heels, stretch the trunk. Breathe out and release your heels to the floor. Feel the stretch at the back of the body and release your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Keep your hands on your hips. Maintain the extension from the hip to the armpit. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bend the knees and descend the hips. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out, bend the knees and descend the hips. Breathe in to come up. One more time, take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, bend the knees and descend the hips. Breathe in to come up and release your hands. Breathe in, raise up the arms. A full extension from the hip to the armpit and from the armpit to the wrists. Maintain that extension, breathe in. Lift and stretch the trunk. And as you breathe out, bend the knees and descend the hips. As low as you can. Lift the trunk. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and release your hands. One more time. Breathe in. This is Utkatasana, the chair pose, like we did yesterday. Feel the length of the side of the trunk. Extend the trunk. Push your thighs back, engage your legs. As you breathe out, bend the knees, release the hips, as if you're sitting on a chair. Maintain this posture. Breathe in, lift the trunk. Breathe out, descend the hips. Breathe in, lift the trunk. Breathe out, descend the hips. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and release your hands. So with this action, we have the trunk extension first, and then we release the knees. Now we're going to release the knees. Sit as low as we can and then extend the trunk. Breathe in. Lift the sides of the trunk from the hip to the armpit. Keep the arms at the sides of the body. As you breathe out, bend the knees and go down. Now breathe in and raise up the arms. Breathe out, sit a little lower. Breathe in to lift. Come up. Breathe out and release your hands. One more time. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, bend the knees, descend the hips just as much as you can. And from here, breathing in, shoot up the arms. Maintain the extension of the sides of the trunk. As you breathe out, sit a little lower. Breathe in, lift the trunk. Breathe out, sit lower. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and release your hand. Place your hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back. Take the right leg out into Vriksasana. Place the heel of the right leg onto the ankle of the left. Turn the navel to face forward. Your right knee rolls out to the side. Breathe in and shoot up the arms. Stand firmly on the left leg as you lift the right side and lift the left side of the trunk. Extend from a single leg as you lift the trunk. Feel the strength of the left leg. Breathe out, release your hands, roll the shoulders back and change legs. Take the left leg out, 90 degrees. Rest the left heel onto the right ankle. Turn the navel and stand into face forward. Breathing in, raise up the arms. Pin the right foot down, engage the right leg as you lift both the right side and the left side of the trunk and extend. Feel the extension of the trunk from the hip to the armpit and from the armpit to the wrist. Breathe out and release your hands. Release your legs, roll the shoulders back. For the next movement, it's going to be Utkatasana, but using a single leg. Known as Ardha Padmasana as well. You're going to place your left foot over the right thigh, like you did when you were seated. If this is as far as you can go, it's perfectly fine. If balance is a problem, you can hold on to something or you can stay in Vriksasana. For those of you that have your foot, the left foot on the right thigh, this foot walks to push the thigh back. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Find your balance. And as you breathe out, bend the knees, descend the hips. Use the foot to descend the hips, but keep stretching the trunk. Keep stretching the trunk as you descend the hips. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out, release your hands and release your legs. Just be careful not to knock onto anything. Change legs. Keep your left leg straight. Place the right foot over the left thigh. Find your balance. Take your arms up to the side. Find your balance. Turn the palms to face up. Breathe in, lift the trunk. And as you breathe out, just as much as you can, bend the left thigh and sit in Utkatasana. Keep the extension of the trunk. Find your balance. Look at the spot in front of you. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and release your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Send the arms out to the side. Soften the abdomen. Feel the length from the hip to the armpit. And feel both legs being worked. Breathe in, raise up the arms once again. And as you breathe out, bend the knees, descend the hips. Sit as low as you can. Lift the trunk. Turn the palms to face forward. Hinge at the hips. Fold forward. Keep the knees bent and release the crown of the head to the floor. Feel the length of the spine, length the crown of the head towards the floor, and soften the abdomen. Feel your feet. If you can, then slowly walk to straighten the legs. Don't keep them bent. Come onto your knees. Move your hips back. Move your groins back. With a slight concave action, move the lower shoulder blade into the body. Stretch your arms forward. Release your forehead. Slowly walk your hands back. Walk your hands back. Pin your fingertips in front of your knees. Lift the navel, lift the sternum, lift the crown of the head. Put your gaze forward. Come onto your knees. Place your palms below the shoulders. Place your knees below the hips. Walk your hand one palm forward. Tuck your toes under. Stretch the back of the shins. Stretch the Achilles tendon. Lift your hips. Lift the hips away from the armpits. Lift the armpits away from the wrist. Similar to the Utkatasana action, but in reverse. Keep moving the hip away from the armpit. Keep moving the armpit away from the wrist. Stretch the trunk and then walk to straighten your right leg, then your left leg, your right leg, your left leg, and if you can, work to straighten both your legs, if not, keep them bent, maintaining the length of the sides of the trunk. Release your knees, sit back, stretch forward, and rest the elbows and rest the forehead to the floor. Your hands back and come to lie flat on your back with your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. Even with this action, feel that there's a length between the hip and the armpit. With both hands, draw both knees in towards the chest. Soften the abdomen. As you breathe out, soften the abdomen, move the abdominal organs to the floor, and feel the thighs moving into the abdomen. Come to the mat. Breathing in, lift the hips. Push your feet down, lift the hips, breathe out and release. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out and release. One more time, breathe in to lift. Breathe out and release. With both hands, draw both your knees in towards the armpits this time. Feel the width of the sacral area and the lumbar spine. Release your feet onto the mat. Straighten your right leg. Straighten your left leg. Roll the thighs away from each other. Keep the abdomen soft. Release your shoulders to the floor. Release your arms to the floor. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel the length of the sides of the trunk as you melt your body to the floor. Place both hands on the abdomen. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Raise up the right arm all the way past the right hand. Roll over onto your right hand side and press to come to sit. Change the crossing of your legs as you sit. Lift the sides of the trunk. And now feel that distance from the hip to the armpit. Move the lower shoulder blade into the body. Feel the strength of the legs. Close your eyes and join your palms together. Take a slow, long, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release the chin to the chest. And as you breathe in, slowly raise up your head. Release your hands and open your eyes. Have a wonderful day and we will meet tomorrow. Thank you.